the unexpected warning. The human explorer sat quietly outside his small shelter. The night sky above the alien world was filled with 2 glowing moons and endless stars. He had been on this planet for months, learning its ways, mapping its rivers, and writing notes about its strange plants. But he was not alone. Beside him sat Kira, an alien warrior of the canine kind, tall, proud, and fierce. Her fur shimmered silver under the moons, her sharp golden eyes watching the forest with care. They had fought together many times. She had saved him, and he had saved her. Somehow, against all odds, a bond had grown between them. A bond that was deeper than friendship. The human often wondered if such a bond could even be explained. That night, silence broke when Kira turned her glowing eyes toward him. Her ears flicked, her tail curled low, and her voice was steady but strange. "You should prepare, human," she said, her tone heavy with something new. "We're having puppies." The human froze, his breath caught in his throat. For a moment, he thought. He had misheard her. His mind raced. This was impossible. It could not happen. And yet, Kira's eyes told him the truth. What do you mean?" he whispered. Her gaze did not waver. "The bond between us was not ordinary," she explained. "My people call it the moon binding, and it has happened only once before in history. You carry my mark, and now, our children, grow inside me." The human sat in stunned silence. He had fought monsters, survived storms, and faced death. But nothing had prepared him for this. Not only was it real, but Kira's tone carried fear. She was a warrior who feared nothing, yet tonight her voice shook. "These pups are not normal," she continued, her claws digging into the soil. "They are starborn, a union of human and my kind. There are those who will fear them, and there are those who will try to kill them before they take their first breath." The human stared at her. He felt the weight of her words. This was no longer about survival on a strange planet. This was destiny, and it had chosen them. The ancient prophecy. The human followed Kira into the forest. Her stride was strong, but her tail betrayed tension. They walked through ancient stone, ruins covered in vines, places the human had never been allowed before. Kira finally stopped before a carved wall glowing faintly under the twin moons. Strange symbols ran across its surface, images of wolves, stars, and fire. "This is the story of my people," she said quietly. "It is called the Prophecy of the Starborn." Her hand traced the carvings, an image of a human figure standing beside a wolf-like alien. Together they stood over flames and broken chains. "It tells of a time when a human will come, when the blood of 2 will mix, and when the pups are born, the world will change forever." The human's heart pounded as he looked at the images. "This prophecy speaks of us," Kira whispered. "The elders fear it, for it means the end of their power. The rival packs hate it, for it means the birth of something greater than themselves. And the galaxy itself may not be ready for what our children will be." Her words felt heavy in the night air. The human could almost feel the prophecy breathing around him. Every star above seemed to watch them. He finally spoke, his voice low. "So they will come for us." Kira nodded slowly, her golden eyes burning. "Yes, they will come. They will call me traitor. They will call you invader. And they will call our children abominations. But I will fight for them, for us, even if it means my life." The human placed a hand on her shoulder. For once, words felt weak. He had come to this world as an outsider. But now, his fate was tied to hers. The prophecy was no longer just a story carved into stone. It was alive, and it lived inside them both. The council's judgment the next day. They walked together to the council hall. It was an ancient building of black stone, its towers rising like claws into the sky. Inside, the air was thick with incense and growls of old warriors. The council of elders sat in a circle, their eyes sharp, their fur marked with age. They stared at the human with a mixture of disgust and curiosity, and when Kira spoke, silence fell across the hall. "My lords," she said, her voice steady though her tail flicked nervously. "I come to tell you the truth of the prophecy. The Starborn have begun. They grow inside me, and this human is their father." The words cracked across the chamber like thunder. Gasps, growls, and shouts erupted. Some elders slammed their claws into the stone floor. Others bared their teeth. One elder, his fur black as night, snarled loudly, "This is blasphemy. This cannot be allowed. The law forbids mixing blood with outsiders, and the prophecy is a curse. Destroy the pups before they are born. End this madness now." Kira's fur bristled, her ears pinned back. "You fear what you do not understand," she growled. "These children are not a curse. They are hope. Our people rot under endless wars, endless rivalries. But with the Starborn, we can rise beyond it. We can rise with the humans." The elders argued, their voices rising like a storm. Some demanded her execution, others demanded the human's exile. But a few stayed silent, their eyes thoughtful. The human stood tall, refusing to bow. "I will not abandon her, and I will not abandon our children," he said firmly. "You call me outsider, but I have fought beside your kind. I have bled for this land. If you fear the prophecy, then you fear your own future, but I will fight it. I will fight all of you if I must." The chamber shook with anger. One elder leapt to his feet, pointing a claw at them both. "Then you bring war upon us, human," he roared. "War with every pack, every clan, every soul who will not accept this union." Kira stepped closer to the human, her hand gripping his arm. "So be it," she growled, her golden eyes flashing with fire. The council howled in fury, their voices echoing through the hall. Outside, the sound carried across the city, and in the shadows, rival packs already whispered of blood. The human and Kira walked out of the council together, the air heavy with the weight of war. The prophecy was no longer hidden, no longer whispered in the dark. It had been spoken aloud before the council, and now the entire world would rise against them. But as they stood outside under the twin moons, the human looked at Kira, her hand still gripping his, her eyes still fierce despite the danger. And in that moment, he knew, whatever came next, they would face it together, for their children, for their bond, and for the future that prophecy promised. The rival pack word of the prophecy spread faster than fire in dry grass. Within days, every pack and clan across the valley knew of the human and the Starborn pups. Some reacted with fear, others with anger. But one pack in particular sharpened. Their claws, the Red Fang pack, rivals to Kira's clan, saw this as their chance to rise. Their leader, a scarred brute named Varric, gathered his hunters in a dark cave. His red eyes burned as he spoke. "These abominations cannot live. If prophecy is true, the Starborn will end our power. If prophecy is false, then the shame of their existence will stain our people. Either way, we kill them now." The hunters howled their agreement. They prepared their blades, their spears, their bows. Their plan was simple: strike the human at night, kill Kira, and burn the unborn prophecy before it could breathe. Meanwhile, in Kira's camp, unease grew among the maids and guards. Some whispered that the prophecy was a curse. Others whispered that it was a blessing. The human trained each day, sharpening his weapons, practicing moves. Kira watched him, her golden eyes filled with worry. "You fight as if you already know what is coming," she said. He nodded. "I do. I've seen this before. When change comes, enemies always come with it. That night, shadows moved in the forest. The first steps of war had begun. The first battle. The human awoke to the sound of growls. Outside, the camp, red eyes glowed in the darkness. The Red Fang pack had come. Dozens of warriors surrounded them. Their teeth bared, their claws ready. "Come out, human!" Varric's voice roared. "Face us and die. Your pups will never see the moons." The human stepped forward with his blade. Kira stood beside him, her silver fur shining under torchlight. Her tail lashed, her teeth flashed. "You will not touch him. You will not touch our children," she growled. The pack attacked with a scream. Arrows flew, blades swung, the night filled with fire and blood. The human fought like no alien had ever seen. His strikes were fast, sharp, and precise. He dodged and countered, cutting through attackers with skill born of countless battles. Kira fought like a storm, her claws raking, her teeth tearing, her fury unmatched. Side by side they fought. The human covered her back, and she covered his. Each enemy that came forward fell, but the pack was many, and soon wounds marked both their bodies. The human bled from his arm. Kira limped from a deep gash, yet they did not fall. At last, the human raised his blade high. Varric lunged with his spear, but the human sidestepped, driving steel into the rival leader's chest. Varric howled once before falling silent forever. The Red Fang warriors froze, their leader dead, their courage broken. Slowly they fled into the night, leaving bodies behind. The human stood breathing hard, his blade dripping. Kira leaned against him, her golden eyes burning with both fury and pride. "They will come again," she whispered. He nodded. "Yes, but next time, it won't be just one pack. It will be all of them." The birth of hope. The moons were full when Kira cried out in the night. The time had come. The human rushed to her side, his hands steady though his heart raced. Her body trembled as the first. Pains began. The maids gathered around, some fearful, some determined. Outside the guards stood tense, for shadows moved once more in the forest. The Red Fang were not finished. They had gathered allies, smaller packs who feared the prophecy. They surrounded the camp again, this time with fire and fury. But inside the shelter, a greater battle was being fought. Kira screamed as life pushed forward. The human held her hand, whispering words of strength. "You are strong, stronger than them all. Our children will live. I promise." The first cry echoed through the night. A small sound, soft yet powerful. A pup was born, its fur dark but its eyes glowing faintly with silver light. Then another cry, and another. One by one, the starborn arrived, their tiny forms glowing in the firelight. The prophecy had become flesh. Outside, the enemy froze. The cries reached their ears. The sound of life, the sound of change. Even the bravest of them stepped back, for no warrior could strike against destiny made real. The human stood at the doorway, his blade raised. Kira lay behind him, exhausted, but alive, her pups nursing at her side. "Come then," the human roared. "See for yourselves. The prophecy is here and you cannot stop it." The rival packs looked at each other. Some turned and fled, others dropped their weapons. The law of their people was clear. Prophecy spoken by blood could not be denied. The starborn were real, and the world would never be the same again. The future begins, days passed, and the news spread across the land. The starborn pups lived. Their eyes shone with silver and human blue. Their cries were strong, their tiny claws sharp. They were living proof of the prophecy. The council called again, but this time, the tone was different. They could not deny what had happened. The elders sat in silence as the human and Kira entered. Behind them, the maids carried the pups wrapped in soft cloth. Every elder's gaze locked on the children. Some glared with hate, others with awe, but none could deny them. "The prophecy is alive," the head elder whispered. "The starborn are here. The old ways cannot hold them back. A new path must begin." The human looked at them all. "We are not your curse," he said firmly. "We are your future. If you fear it, then fear will destroy you. But if you accept it, these children will unite us, not as alien and human, but as one people." The chamber stayed silent. Then slowly, one elder lowered his head, then another. Finally, the circle bowed, not to the human, not to Kira, but to the pups, the starborn of prophecy. That night, under the twin moons, Kira lay beside the human. Her head rested on his shoulder, her eyes watching their children sleep. "They will face a hard path," she whispered. He nodded. "Yes, but they will never walk it alone." She smiled faintly, her golden eyes soft. "For the first time, I do not fear the prophecy. For the first time, I believe in it." The human kissed her brow. "Then the prophecy has already won," he said. Far away, in dark caves and high towers, not all were pleased. Some still plotted, some still hated. But the sound of the pups' cries carried far. It carried across the world, and with it carried hope. The story of the starborn had only just begun.